Right. Well, we are actually we're on. So I think, yeah, we are. That's what I mean. You think I'd actually know what I'm doing. I fucking people think I know what I'm doing, but I'm actually just winging it every fucking time.
We've made it real easy with the spinny table.
Yeah, we could just like spin mics around, can't we? Just like fucking. Well, first of all, I want to thank you both for letting me come in here and ruin your front room lounge area in your studio for a bit. So it's an honour to be here.
We're pleased to have you.
Yeah, initially we kind of spoke about it back with Barn Jam. You were handing out leaflets for your first year of the Lincoln show, weren't you? The Lincoln Tattoo Convention.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was first or second?
Second.
Was it your second last year?
Yeah.
So this is your third this year?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then I think I was draining you guys then. I was like, we definitely need to do a podcast. And then obviously I met you guys again at the...
Well, yeah, because we met you at Backwards and you're like, yeah, we're totally doing a podcast. And then we walk away and we're like, oh my God, he's never going to contact us. We're not cool.
Of course you are. Yeah, you're both. But I like everybody in the culture, you know, and anyone that's willing to listen to me waffle on, because I say this all the time, like, I truly am a waffling baboon. Like, I'm not in my head listening to people, and I'm like, what the fuck do I look like sat here on this fucking camera? Like, and then people think like I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm like, I show it so many times. I got me attempting to do videos, any announcement videos. There's like, shit, and then it's like job done. But obviously you get there in the end, and it's, you know, it's just like fucking just have a go. And I think I always wonder like why do people want to sit and listen to me? Because I'm like a nodding fucking dog, scatty as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, during lockdown, we were like doing videos and stuff because we're still like trying to run raffles and that kind of thing just to keep people interested. But the trouble was, obviously, as you've seen from Custom, I do like a drink.
Yes.
And so on most of them, I was pissed.
Right.
And there was this one in particular. We're sat out in the garden. I'm pissed. Ella, my daughter, is sat next to me. Was she picking her nose or was she burping? No, she was picking her nose. Yeah. I kept burping whilst I was chatting. And then at one point, he fucks the camera up and just turns around and it's just like zoomed in on his eye. It was awful, wasn't it? But people really enjoyed seeing it because, again, that's how we are all the time. We're just knobheads, and we just show ourselves as we are. And people quite enjoy that. They don't want to. Yeah. They don't want to see some fake version of you.
No, exactly. And like, obviously, I've probably sold everything before we even fucking turn the camera on. But it's like I said, I only started doing live streams because I got fucking shit with technology. But then I felt it was like I don't want to sell out. You know, like we were saying earlier, and that, and like when you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. The only person, like, I get someone the other day commented and put a picture of a tank up on my little build that I'm doing, and they were like, "Oh, it looks like a blown up condom," and I was like, "Cool,
yeah,
you know." And he was like, "I don't mean to offend you." I'm like, "Mate, I put this out to the world. Like, if I'm gonna get offended by something I put out to the world, like, I'm clearly doing the wrong thing. The only person that can really upset me what I'm doing is my missus, because I care about what she says. Like, you know, like if she was ever, not that she has, but if she was to say, "Oh, that looks shit," I'd take it to heart. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's my missus. I care about what she says. It, you know, her words mean something to me. And, you know, apart from that, I couldn't give a fuck. Like,
see, I'm the opposite. And this is, you know, we were talking earlier and I was saying about how I don't really post on social media, my work or anything like that. Yeah. It's because even now, even though I've been doing this for so long and I've got such a huge client base, imposter syndrome is so real. And
I don't know what that is, I'll be honest.
No?
I don't know what imposter syndrome is. No.
Oh, mate, you're living a charmed life.
Yeah, I get it all the time.
Yeah, like where you just feel like you're not good enough and that you shouldn't be.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. What it means. No,
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I genuinely didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, but like I don't feel like I'm good enough in the industry. I don't feel like my work's up there. I don't think as a person I'm that good.
Right.
And so that's why I don't post anything on socials, because you can have like 100 people say, "Mate, this is awesome. We love what you've done."
Right.
That one person that went, "That's a bit shit." That'd be it.
Really?
Honestly.
I mean, I think you can use it to your strength, like as in, like I think as obviously, I don't know what it's like for you in tattooing, and obviously for piercings as well. I've never done a piercing, but I think that on its own, knowing that you're capable of doing better, is the best drive ever.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
however, like surely there's got to be a time like when you've done a difficult piercing, you looked at it and gone, that's actually spot on, like bang where I wanted it.
And you know that
you
it's
thrive on that
yeah.
moment.
You
Yeah.
couldn't
You know what I
have done
mean?
that any better.
And obviously for tattooing,
I mean,
it's exactly the
way
same,
more
isn't
so
it?
for tattooing. You know, I'm
I've
harpooning somebody.
I've not had it for ages, but I had it on Saturday, where I did a piece what I was really looking forward to doing, and halfway through, like the blending on it was just like, yeah, like without like getting up my own arse, it was just brilliant. And it'd been a while since I've been that that happy with something so fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously like every tattoo is spot on, but this one was like, yeah, it's.
Yeah.
You were proper buzzed about that.
I was,
yeah.
It's such a good job. You know, it's yeah.
But then, if you posted that to say TikTok, and one person went, "That's a bit shit," would that bother you, or would it not?
Oh no, not if I know it's the best I could have done, and it's
Yeah.
you know.
That's it. Like you've got nothing. Like you've laid it all out. Like at the end of the day, it's like surely it'd eat you up more, like knowing that you could probably pull off that piece, but you're too worried and use it. Like I don't do color. Like so I can't do it. Like there 100% is a knack for coloring well, and I ain't got it. Like, and that's fine. And people go, but if you can do black, no, it's not the same. Like I'm a really light tattooer. I'm really slow, right? And I'm light, so obviously I know I can push my luck with the layers.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that I can get the black in because even the way I pack black, I know that I can go back to it. Like, and I know I'm not going to turn that skin into hamburger meat.
Exactly,
Chew it all up.
Yeah.
Like I did last one I did is I didn't have any bug pins. I fucking accidentally ordered 12 gauges. And I'm having to do black and grey work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, but because I've come along since because obviously every novice, everyone that always learns, like, it's weird how you always get given 12 gauge needles.
Yeah.
But yet, when was the last time you used 12 gauge?
I don't know.
Because it's like kind of like the kickstand, wasn't it? Like it was like the whole 12 gauge.
Everyone used it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not many people knew about the gauges.
Yeah.
Same with the throw, you know, it's
Yeah.
you just use what you'd see the size of the needle and you just order it.
But yeah, like when you're first learning, like whether you, I mean, obviously I'm one of the naughty ones that's self-taught, and I'm like nowhere near where I believe that I could get to. Like I know my level of tattooing, like, and it's like I know where I am. Like there's nothing wrong with that. People go, "Oh, stop talking yourself down." So no, it's being honest. Like at the end of the day, like kind of where we spoke off air earlier, like some of the old lads that are 100% incredible in what they've achieved, but instead of going, do you know what, we've no longer got the hunger to continue with how it's going. We know where we are. Like we've earned our stripes.
Yeah.
Like, we're respected in what we've achieved in the culture. They'd sooner go and chat shit on the new way of tattooing. It's like, well, again, like you've obviously got something to worry about. So if you've got nothing to worry about, you've been in the industry 40 years. Like people respect who you are. Okay, they haven't necessarily gone through the conventional learning how to solder needles and things like that, but it doesn't mean that they're disrespecting you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I always say to people, like, they ask me, people say, "Oh, can you teach me how to?" No, can I? Fuck, I can't teach you how to. I'm learning it myself. I'm like, look, if you're not going to go down the conventional route and the correct route, and it is the correct route of apprenticing.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to go down that, at least learn where it comes from. Like, and if you're not very good at reading, go on Amazon Prime, watch Tattoo Nation with Ed Hardy, Bob Tyrrell, with, you know, with people that have kind of taken the industry from black and grey prison, and like Ed Hardy, everyone knows of his clothing, but don't really know that he was like one of the leader people in like Skin Deep magazine. Like, you know, he brought it to the mainstream somewhat, didn't he, back in the day? So at least learn that stuff. Like, you know, at least that shows you that you do actually care a bit about the history. You know, and because everyone's obviously going to have a problem with you not going down the conventional route of apprenticing. And I mean, like, you self-taught or
Self-taught, yeah.
Yeah,
Self-taught.
Yeah. So it's, well, obviously, I think that when I spoke to you, you've had apprentices, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm on my third apprentice now.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, so
Not because you keep like getting rid of them.
No. They work in the studio currently. You know, so
even better than
fully fledged tattooists, and you know they're both really bloody good.
Yeah.
So
They are.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like when you started learning with you coils as well.
Coils, yeah.
What are your thoughts on?
I loved coils back then.
Yeah.
You know, but I got to the point where my fingers would start going numb after using them for extended periods of time. Using the same old machines, the overheat, and I'd get like a little blister on my finger from where it sits. Yeah. So when rotaries did come along, I was a bit apprehensive about it. But then,
what made you apprehensive? Like, kind of like feeling that you want to stay traditional to where it like, or is it like the unknown?
The unknown, yeah. I was like any tattooist, you get used to a certain way of doing things, and you just stick with it.
Right.
No one likes change. If one machine breaks, they'll probably order the exact same one back because you just don't know if you buy a new one whether it's going to work the way you want it to work.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I saw your layout. Man, you got loads of machines. when you were packing up at the KKBO, when you were packing up your equipment there, I was like, that's a fucking cool little collection of machines there.
And that wasn't even all of them.
No, just ones I use now and again.
Yeah, so it kind of like contradicts that, because at the end of the day, each machine has a different behavior, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
So like, what was it? Was it just the initial change of going from coil to rotary, or like do you still feel the same way when you're buying a new machine and like are you apprehensive and trying that new machine as well?
Yeah, definitely. There's a company that I use now called Valknot Rotaries, and when did Andy set it up? It must have been 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's not that long.
No, it's not long ago, is it?
No.
And before that, I was using Cheyenne machines.
I've got a Thunder.
Yeah, so all I ever used to use was the Thunder.
Yeah,
it's amazing machine.
Oh yeah. You think it's a bit hard hitting though?
I loved it. Loved it because it was hard hitting.
Right. Okay.
Especially when doing like shading, because you just smash it in.
Right.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, I'd go through one of them every 3-4 months.
Really? I'm still my first.
Yeah.
But then obviously I only tattoo like every now and again. Probably obviously you're tattooing 6 days a week.
Yeah, it'll get its full use.
Yeah.
So then I fancied something new, didn't I? Really. And also they're wireless as well, which not.
So have you gone full on battery powered now?
So they do change between battery powered and RCA leads still, so you can change the connectors in the ends. It's only like the last 2 weeks that I've actually started using the battery packs again.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I've tried it, but I thought, all right, I budged onto a rotary, but I'm not letting the power pack go. I think it's just something you've got to kind of hold on to a little bit of the parts.
Yeah. I think the current can be a lot better as well. Like it seems a lot more.
What, battery or mains?
Mains. It seems to run so much better.
Right.
And that's not like anything to do with the branding. I think that's the same with any kind of machine what's wireless.
Okay.
But there's no saying that someone else might think totally different, opposite,
Yeah. Like the Cheyenne's cable's so light.
Yeah.
Like because I run a replica of the critical power supply, like the Chinese one. So obviously I had to then buy the Cheyenne's built-in capacitor cable.
Okay.
Like 50 quid just for a cable.
Just for a cable, yeah.
But obviously, it's got the built-in. So I don't know how your Cheyenne was, but like mine, when it starts up, it goes ooh, and it's that little power supply thing.
Yeah.
It gives it a kick and then brings it back down to where you want it.
Yeah.
But it's but the cable's so light and it gets in the way all the time. But it's just like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm constantly getting it wrapped around my
catch around the bottom of the toolbox.
Yeah, around my wheels. It gets caught up inside.
Yeah.
But
dragging it over the face.
So where did tattooing start for you?
So originally, I started tattooing like from 16.
Okay.
15.
Right.
So I was in college, doing art design and media, and I'd been doing it for 2-3 months, and like even from being at school to then going to college, I've always looked at tattooing. Like I always used to buy the magazines and draw the tattoos out of the magazines, like when I was like 12, 13.
Right.
And go into college, and I was basically learning stuff that I already knew how to do art wise. So I ended up just leaving basically. And then a few people helped me find some money because I took an interest in tattooing. Like, they helped me find the money to buy a kit, and that's when it all started. Really, I started tattooing with my dad.
So did you go with you bought a good kit, or did you make the site? I went down the whole eBay regretted life after that. Like, I truly reckon if I invested in a good machine initially, or at least a good entry level, I don't think I ever would have stopped. The issues I had with the Chinese machine put me back. Like, I never touched the machine for like another 5 years. Yeah. So did you go down, like you went and bought a recommended machine, or?
I can't even remember the name of the company. But back then it was a lot of suppliers. Back then you needed your license number to be able to buy equipment. Whereas obviously you can buy it from anywhere now. So back then, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I still managed to order it without putting my license number in.
Do you remember the brand of the machine?
Oh God, no.
Mickey Sharps or something like
that? No, it wasn't quite that expensive. No, it was a proper. You could probably call it an eBay kit these days, but again, with a coil, you can tune it to the way you want it. Whereas obviously you can't do that with rotary.
No, so obviously you hear that, like some people say, like if you can truly tune your coil like spot on, it'll outperform any rotary.
Oh yeah.
You know,
without a doubt,
like obviously back spring, front spring at different weights on amateur bars. Yeah. And way beyond me, like way beyond. Like I said earlier, like when we talked, like it's an art form on its own, being able to tune a coil.
Yeah.
But like what I found out with the Chinese machines was, and it's weird because I found it out through having an issue with my motorbike. Right, is the Chinese copper isn't actually copper; it's aluminium dipped in a copper coating, which helps.
Okay.
So what happens when it gets hot is it creates a chemical reaction and it creates a breakdown. So like my issue was when I was trying to line it was actually going, you know what I mean? And it literally and the coils were piping hot within 10-15 minutes, not after 2-3 hours like you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then it was only then having an issue with, like I say, with my bike, I was having issues with indicators, that I realised that that's why the Chinese are able to create, and obviously not all their stuff, but how they're fundamentally able to create cheap electronics.
Yeah.
Because they, the mix, the way they're creating the copper, which obviously isn't any good when it's magnetized and you've got a volt running through it.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of like what put me back. Otherwise, I don't think I would have stopped.
No.
I think, it put me back for years, and then obviously I had another go a year later on. So like for you, so you were like 15, 16, learning how to tattoo your dad.
Yep. Did it all the ways that you shouldn't do it, basically.
Exactly.
Learning. Yeah. Exactly. Like the amount of people that come in now to talk to me about becoming a tattooist and getting an apprenticeship, I always tell them to do totally opposite. Like don't be tattooing your friends and whatever else, Like you can go on social media these days, especially TikTok, and the amount of kids what's on there tattooing, and they've got they've got someone's leg on the bed on a towel, and they've got no gloves on, and it's just cross contamination everywhere.
Yeah.
I think back then it was more not knowing how you should be doing it.
Yeah.
And obviously doing it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to learn for people what want to do it.
Yeah.
But obviously can't get in the studio.
So do you find now, like, people are wanting? What do you think of dragging people in to want to learn to tattoo? Do you think it's this illusion of lifestyle, or like because I've heard, like, I can't remember whose podcast I was listening to. I was listening to a tattoo-based podcast, and they're on about like people they can't even be bothered to bring a portfolio in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't draw anymore. Like, I ain't got time to draw.
I ain't got time to draw
Like,
now.
I'm like, I'm that slow. I was like 30 hours into a Pennywise portrait on an A3 piece of paper.
Yeah.
And it isn't even like, wow. I mean, it was presentable. You know, I was chuffed with it,
Yeah.
learning how to do charcoal and stuff. But it wasn't like, wow. It was good, but it was.
Yeah.
I'm like 30 hours, and I see some of these guys on YouTube, and they're like 15 hours. I'm like, fucking hell, you know, like, but I ain't got time to draw.
Yeah. Like some days I can get in at the studio at 9:30 ish every day. Start actually tattooing with my client coming in at 10:30.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't leave here till 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, when you've been drawing on people all day as such,
Yeah.
the last thing you want to do is get home and, you know, have to draw a design up.
Yeah. I've just seen there, Jake. I think Jake's listening.
Yeah.
Hey up, Jake.
Hey
Right,
up,
Jake,
Jake.
mate.
Well, he was anyway. If he's still there now.
I love how whenever Jake messages, it's always, hey up, love.
Hey up, mate. Hey up, lad. Hey up. I've gone from Yorkshire. But yeah, so it's like obviously procreating that. Is that kind of what?
Yeah, that's all I ever use.
Yeah.
Procreate. I can mock up a design in the morning within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So easy. I mean, I do. If someone is very full on about having a design a specific way, they'll have a proper consultation where they'll come in for about an hour. I'll sit with them and we'll design it. If it's not right, I'll send them away, and then we'll look at doing something else. So we've got more time to prep it.
Right.
But 90% of the time, most people come in the morning, then I'll design it for them.
Yeah.
Again, like back in the day when we didn't have iPads to draw designs up, and you had to draw them by hand.
I know, and then if the stencil didn't come out right, you know, you've got like 3. I mean, I've only ever managed 3 attempts on one paper stencil.
Yeah.
Before like 4. I've never got a 4th out.
No. The thing that used to piss me off was that I'd spend like 3-4 days drawing a design up. They'd come in and they'd change their mind.
Oh, you know.
I remember like in the first studio,
Oh,
you'd spend ages doing, and they were awesome designs.
yeah.
And they'd come in, they're like, oh, can you just change that? Can you, how the fuck can you just change that?
No, you have to redraw everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's correct. Or they want that same design in a different area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just?
Yeah, like yeah. I mean, I put a design together. I did like a Jason, it was the Jason mask from the new Halloween.
Yeah.
It had a lot more detail, like all the grains in the face. And then I did like a house underneath and a tree. So instead of having the top of his head with the hair, it merged into a tree with cloud and you can. I'll show you after. Straight away, you'll see it's designed to go moons up on the shoulder, back of the tree, and then the house is to finish just above the elbow. And the guy literally pops a leg up, pulls his shorts up, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, he's like, well, it's gone on my leg, and I'm like, it's not even designed. It's A4.
Yeah.
You know, and it came. I mean, I was chuffed with it. The best I could do. But it just screamed the wrong size. It was way too small.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, A3 probably minimum, literally on the side of the thigh, an average size bloke. It's like way too small.
Yeah.
Way too small. And that was always something I noticed when I was, like I say, I'm still like early days into what I deem as a good tattooist. But you end up like panicking. Like, I think, like, drag it out, like, let it breathe. Like, that was one thing I always kept doing. Everything was always crammed into small spaces. And I was like, really doesn't need to be that small, you know. Did you find the same? Big has
always been better.
Yeah.
Big has always been better.
They just breathe better, don't they?
They do, mate, yeah.
And do you actually get it like where your customers think that you're trying to like, what would be the best way, like get more money out of them? Like, because they think, it's like, no, it's actually going to...
Longevity wise, it's going to, it's going to last a lot better. Obviously, as you get older, the collagen in your skin gives away.
Yeah.
So it starts to bleed out. So if it's small, then it's going to be more noticeable over time.
Yeah.
Where if it's bigger, it's like you said, it's going to be able to breathe a lot more, and it's going to look better over a longer period.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's just like working, like, I've only ever learned this stuff off YouTube. Like, YouTube's been my best friend, like, for everything. Like, it's, like learning how to fucking stretch the skin and, like, and then you analyze what this artist is doing, and then all of a sudden the algorithm suggests a different artist who's doing it completely different. You're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
first time I ever saw the pendulum effect was Bob Tyrrell. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this magic? You know, and then you think that's magic. And then David Vega, I mean, have you seen how David Vega does a portrait?
No.
So he effectively backstrokes.
Oh,
When I say
okay.
backstrokes, literally, imagine the needles floating in fresh air and he comes down into the skin with a mag.
Wow.
And he does the whole, I mean, you imagine how long, I wouldn't like to say how long they take.
Yeah.
I do believe they're very, very long tattoos, but you need to look up David Vega's work. Like,
Wow.
and when you're watching tattoos, it's like, wow. Like, how do you even gauge that?
Yeah.
You know, literally, like, have you ever tried it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like with the pendulum motion, just doing that.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're instantly lifting off as you're going up.
yeah.
Whereas if you're going downwards, you're not lifting off here. So
No.
if you haven't got the right pressure,
Imagine half a pendulum.
yeah,
I don't know how it. So he starts in fresh air, and then I've tried it, and it's like
wrong kind of
no,
pressure. Yeah,
no, thank you. Like fucking hell.
you end up getting like lines or graininess in your smooth shading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally just sits there doing pretty much the whole tattoo. Like by the looks of it, by what you see on YouTube, I reckon like a 9 curve mag type of size, and he's doing. But his work's like the softness in his work, which is like mind-boggling. Because like how
How's he managed it with that kind of style?
Yeah, I'll show you after. Like, I'll send you a link to it. It's incredible. But just like watching, like, I mean, even the pendulum effect. I end up finding my machine it's weird in my hand. It starts to like work its way round.
Anger, yeah.
Whether that's due to obviously with the back of the motor hanging out or whatever, I don't know. But like,
Quite possibly, yeah.
I mean, I'd say I've got shit ton to learn, but like, I start off with the best intentions of like that, and then over the course of about half an hour,
You've twisted
I'm
the
coming
machine.
out and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? You know, and I'm like, force of habit or whatever, I don't know. Like,
Go left-handed.
Yeah, left-handed, yeah. But it kind of like, if I ever do like a portrait type piece, which I never do portraits of people's loved ones, that just because it's like
I'm saying.
way beyond me.
Yeah.
Way beyond. I'm not doing it. I believe the emotions attached to your family member. You're expecting, and rightly so, you're expecting that. I'll do some weird Frankenstein style characters at the best I can do them, but I like to hand draw them, like as in I like to hand stencil them.
Yeah.
I don't like to run them through because I find that like the human organicness of even the reference marks are still better than
You get a more feel for the shape.
Yeah.
The shapes of the face.
Do you do yours like that, or do you just run them through?
Well,
so when you do on Procreate, are you still doing it the conventional way of creating a stencil, or are you running like through filters?
No, I'll still draw it the same way as if I was hand doing it.
Yeah.
So it'll be all etched out the same way as I'll do it as a normal stencil.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just on Procreate.
Yeah. And at least then, like, say, if it comes out wrong, you can just fucking print it again.
Yeah, any kind of size, just print it straight out. Yeah.
I've had to send my mate home, like, because I'm not going to get this stencil done. Like, it's the wrong size. It's like way, way too small. And I'm like, really sorry, mate.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to go and come back tomorrow or come back tonight, because it's going to take me 3 hours just to redraw this fucking stencil.
I've had it loads of times. I mean, I've got one in Friday, starting a full back piece, and we haven't had a consultation. I've not met the lad before, so there's a 50-50 chance that when he comes in Friday, that he's not going to get tattooed.
Right.
Just because I've got an idea of what he wants doing, but I don't know his body frame size.
Okay.
So I can't prep the whole image before he comes.
Right, that's a good point.
So I could spend probably 2-3 hours on Friday trying to size it up properly before we even start tattooing. Yeah,
and that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's like, like the guy like G in York who done my arm. This is all Sharpie pens. Like I literally another thing I noticed with people is like I get people asking me if I can do color. I want it in color. I was like, you clearly haven't researched what I do. Like just go on Instagram. Like there is not an ounce of color on my page, apart from I think I attempted to do some like watermark type thing, and it didn't come out very well. The customer was happy with it, but like I thought that's like way just not me. I getting the tones right in like the water effect was just like But they're asking, can I do color? And I'm like, you don't research your artists.
Yeah,
like
exactly that. Yeah,
it's like going to an old school artist for a portrait.
Yeah. You you're going to get like you're going to get like your old Sailor Jerry style character. That's
Yeah, it's all going to be lined.
Yeah,
every part of it's going to be lined.
Yeah,
there's going to be no soft shading in it.
That's it. And it's just research your artists.
Yeah,
and then you've got an idea of what you can get from
them.
Yeah. But like, kind of where I was heading with that is like when you freehand, like when you literally Sharpie pen onto them, which I don't do, but I've had it where when they've asked me if I can do something, and I say, well, I'm going to have to draw that, and they go, well, how long is it going to take you? I was like, well, really depends on how long it takes me to draw it first. And they're like, but what? So I've got to pay for the drawing? I'm like, well, I'm drawing on your skin. Like, some people like thinking you're just paying for the tattoo. It's like,
yeah.
You're going to be sat in the chair. I'm going to be sat there with some Sharpie pens.
Paying for your time.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the thing, isn't it? When you break it down, like tattoo-wise, doing it full time, I'm lucky. Like, I'm lucky that I have the privilege of being able to tattoo as and when bits come in that are my style of work. But like you guys, like you've got an incredible studio here to run. Like, you have to adapt. Whereas like I look through your work and like you're doing several different styles. It's like there's no way I could do that, or no way I would want to do that. Like you obviously have to adapt and keep the lights on.
Very much so. Yeah.
You know?
I call it small town syndrome. Small town syndrome.
Right. Okay.
Because everyone wants to get what they've seen.
Right.
So they'll see someone else in town what's got something, or they'll see something they've seen on Pinterest, Google, or just someone else on Facebook, and that's what they'll want. And then that's where your trends come in. Like, the amount of lionesses and cubs I've done in the last.
With blue eyes.
With blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
Yeah, always fucking blue eyes.
Yeah, with blue eyes.
Pocket watching roses.
Yeah. And it'll be right. I want this lion and cubs doing, but I'm going to be a bit different than everyone else. It's going to have yellow eyes. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, jaundice.
But that's not dissing anyone who's got it. Yeah, but
like the culture, like nothing's unique anymore. Not really.
No, it's not. No.
But that's something that we talk to our apprentices about, though, isn't it? Because we're a studio in a small town.
Yeah.
You can't just specialize in one style because you're never going to get the work.
No.
Yeah, if you're in like a big city and you've really built up your name, then absolutely you can just do that one style and that's what you're known for. But when you're starting out, you've got to do the mandalas, you've got to do the football badges, you've got to do whatever comes through the door because that's what's paying your bills.
Yeah, exactly. And like sometimes I suppose like if, for example, you spend ages doing like you were saying earlier, like you hadn't done like, a certain style for a while.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, like I sometimes I panic when I'm tattooing, even though I'm in control of what I'm doing. But it's the fact that like you haven't done that style for a while.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is good to, because your line work might fall by the waistline a bit because you're doing portraits
all the time.
right?
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden that one guy that still decided he wants a bit of tribal, or guy or whatever, that one person that decides they want a bit tribal, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I haven't done line for ages.
Yeah.
It's like you say, there is that, like you guys are saying, like you do need that. It's. I mean, for me, like I like the creepy stuff. Like I like the horror characters.
Yeah.
And, that's like the old school rock and roll vibe shit. That's the stuff I like. But I'm not a fan. I love traditional for its technicality.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want any on me. And I found that when I've ever had to do a piece of traditional work, I found it's some of the hardest work to do because it's the simplest, but it's also it's the easiest to fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, do you not think?
You know what? I had a lad come in earlier, and he was on about apprenticeship, and he was showing me all these bits of fake skin that he's been tattooing on, and it's all black and grey realism work.
Right.
And it was good.
Yeah.
It's really good. But I said, you've not got your fundamentals down.
No.
100%. So you need to start with your lining.
Yeah.
I said, black and grey, it's so easy to hide mistakes in shading.
Yeah. And I've done it. Like I know that. Like I said earlier, like my reference marks. It's like I said to one of the guys, like, don't worry about it. Like it's just a reference for me to come back to.
Yeah.
Like, and because some of it looks sketchy as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
but with like neo-trad and traditional, because it's such bold, especially line work, because it's like, I don't know, 60% of the tattoo, it's massively noticeable. If you can't pull a line properly, then Yeah. In terms of hardness wise, with the style, I do think neo trad and traditional is really really hard. Yeah.
I mean, even tribal, like the amount of tribal that you see that looks dog shit. Not because, I mean, I'm not a fan of tribal anyway. I'm lucky that I was too young.
Yeah.
And I didn't ruin my skin with tribal.
We bear the marks of the 2000s,
Oh,
don't we?
yeah.
Apologise to anyone. I'm certainly not insulting anyone. I'm just lucky that I was like 13, 14 when tribal was massive, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and so I was, but I don't. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. Like, but again, going back to it, is like some of it's like really bad. Like the saturation's spot on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they've packed solid black and they haven't overworked it and scarred the skin.
Yeah.
But like the lines, like you can almost see. I don't know about you, but you can almost imagine that they really weren't sat in the right position to run that line.
Yeah.
You know, like
doesn't flow. The movement's not there.
Like literally, almost like I can kind of imagine like they're trying to tackle them, like running for example, running a line that curves that way, but sat as if they were ready to line it the opposite way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because you can see the jaggedness in them. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You know,
How much hand pressure down like for that as well? Like,
yeah. Like I said, back then would have been all coil machines.
Yeah.
All coil machines.
And all the lining's probably all like raised up, scarred now.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of that going on in there, like where they've obviously had to. But do you think it's like down to inks that have got better? Or like, because obviously technology has got better in it, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I think overall equipment wise, the industry's massively changed in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Has it changed for you, because you did the piercing? Has it changed for piercings? Like, is it come along like?
It's hard for me to sort of really have a reference on that, because I mean I've only been piercing for 6-7 years. So I know for me starting out, like I know I'm talking about how you both self-taught, and the proper way to do it is to sort of, or the better way to do it to get sort of really learn that sort of deeper knowledge. I went the shit way with piercing, where I paid to go on one of these courses. They teach you how to shove a needle through somebody, but that is it.
Right.
And
so there obviously is way much more than that by the sound.
Absolutely. I've got an apprentice now, and he's been with me for coming up to a year, I think. And he's just about to get licensed. Whereas I was getting a license after a weekend of piercing somebody. And then I'm in my own studio and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
And then I had to teach myself, because the way that I've been taught was really old school. His practices were so out of date. Like the quality of jewelry that he was using was shit, and I had to learn all that. So I kind of almost feel like I'm a self-taught piercer, because I paid a load of money to be taught for cool.
Right. So, did you find that you came away just knowing more so the high side, or not even?
Definitely not that.
Right, okay.
Absolutely. Like, this chap was like whacking stuff through an autoclave, unbagged, and then cooling it down under a cold tap before he was using it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, who?
So is all your stuff disposable now? Like I need like cartridge needles.
So needles are all disposable, but all my instruments are all So they're all like autoclaved,
very
and
much like a surgery in
exactly that. Yeah, but I remember not being taught how to use that.
Right.
It was shit, really. It was, and he made a load of money on it because I got a certificate that said I could do it.
Yeah.
And I could get insurance, and I could just go out that next day and be like, yeah, I'm a piercer now.
Yeah, it was like kind of like interesting to say about the insurance, like, because I set up a studio at home. You know, I turned the smallest bedroom, put laminate, because the one thing I always kind of said is like, as long as I don't cut corners on hygiene, I can't go wrong. Yeah. So like, I massively invested in YouTube. How to clean, how to break down, how to put together, you know, and even so much got down to going down to the level of like never putting my hand into the bag where the sticks are, the lollipop sticks are, the suppressors, whatever you call it.
Tongue depressors, yeah.
So like I'd always put a glove on, put my hand in the bag, grab the tongue depressor, never put a hand or even a gloved hand into the Vaseline or you know, or ointment or whatever, like, you know, very much down to like rituals of doing that shit, and even down to the way you take your gloves off, and, like, you know. And I found all of that, like, really, that was the most nerve-wracking thing for me. But where I was going with it was, I rang up an insurance company and I was like, look, I work from home. Like, obviously, I wasn't a registered studio, so I'm tattooing my friends, and obviously people are paying for the coverage of the needles and things, but I would like to be insured in case something went wrong with them. And he was like, look, we can't insure you because you don't work out a registered studio. And I was like, oh, right, okay. He said, but if you do get work for a registered studio, you're then legally covered to tattoo anywhere. Or like, you know, this is going back about 6-7 years ago. I was like, so you're saying that if I'm insured at a studio, I can tattoo my friends at home? And it's like, pretty much, yeah, as long as everything's regulated, like, as in, you know, needles have come from a regulated company.
Yeah.
So it didn't make any sense.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't. I think it's a really difficult industry to insure, though, isn't it?
I think it's changed, isn't it? Because like some insurance now don't cover outside the studio or conventions.
Right. Okay.
So some of them do cover it, and some of them don't.
So it obviously was a thing.
It was a thing. Yeah.
Tattoo pretty much anywhere if you were licensed, like registered at a licensed premises. You know, because obviously every artist has to be licensed, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, so where I work out at Nordic Ink, like Nathan had to obviously apply for the license for me on a separate license, you know. But it doesn't even state that I'm only licensed to tattoo there.
No.
I think once you're licensed.
So yeah, you're licensed. You have to be licensed within each council district that you work in.
Oh, right. Okay. So you can't just get up and travel with that license then?
No.
Like in the UK?
No. You have to be registered with each district. And that's a real bugbear of ours, because the price of that varies wildly.
Oh God. Yeah.
So where we do our convention, the license is 49 quid per person.
Yeah.
And so for each person that works a convention, we've got to buy that license. The reason we don't do it in our hometown is because the license, exactly the same bit of paper, 311 quid.
Wow.
What? How's that?
Yeah, I worked that.
Yeah.
I think East Riding, I think it's £75 each.
Yeah.
And I think York's like 180 quid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's
bizarre.
Yeah.
And when you're setting that kind of price, people aren't then gonna set up legitimately because they can't afford that.
No.
And you know, with you saying about how you can't get insurance until you're in a licensed premises, but if you can't afford to set that up as well, you're just encouraging people to go underground to do it.
Yeah.
Unlicensed, unregulated.
Yeah. No. Exactly. And so is it, because obviously tattoos and piercings, obviously everyone knows they always come under the same. Like typically, a tattoo studio will have a piercer. Is it the same? As in like licensing and things like that?
So yeah, basically our license. Even though I'm a piercer, I'm still licensed to tattoo. I'm licensed to do semi-permanent makeup and acupuncture, and it all comes under the same umbrella.
So anything effectively making the skin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same the way around, though, is it?
Yeah.
I thought only like my license upstairs, it only says on there that I'm covered to do ear piercing.
No, if you check on the bylaws, that license covers any kind of thing that punctures the skin.
Right. My first license only says on there that it covers tattooing and ear piercing.
Yeah, it's Boston.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like say, obviously, people want to make, you know, I suppose if they, because there will be small one-man band independent studios who will do both.
Yeah.
You know, and I suppose it's another way of making extra money, isn't it?
Yeah, and the way that, like with licensing and environmental health, that level of hygiene is expected regardless of, because we're all breaking the skin.
Yeah.
We're all creating that risk of infection and cross-contamination. So the level of hygiene is expected regardless of which way we're breaking that skin. We're all doing the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose that's why it all comes under one umbrella.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen like whether they're a regulated studio, but on YouTube, like, I've seen it, and you look on the floor, and there's like a rug.
Yeah.
And one thing I've found really weird, whether I see so many artists that will wrap the spray bottle up, they wrap the bottle up, but leave the trigger open.
Yeah.
The whole method,
Yeah.
everywhere that cross contamination will literally thrive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what I do is I nip a hole in my clean film, put the trigger so the nozzle hole through that, but the arm, everything else apart from that one little hole where it sprays out is under clean film.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's just common sense to me. Or like you'll get artists and they're like wearing a watch, but I mean, fair enough if you're wearing like a rubber base where you can wipe it down. You know, you've got like something, you know, if it's just a normal, but even then, like why?
Yeah.
But like people wearing like Rolexes and shit, or you know, everywhere we're crossing,
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
You're like, put that under a microscope, I dare you.
No fucking way, you know. I mean, obviously, I don't wear the bag things, but I do. First thing in my mind, be all over my fucking skin.
Yeah.
I get myself in such positions to avoid leaning on the area that you tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like this.
Yeah.
You know. But
especially because you know it's straight away.
Oh
like,
yeah.
My missus won't let me anywhere near her when I'll be in the studio. She's like, get that.
Mm-hmm.
she works in a care home and obviously she had to do like courses on, and she worked in a pharmacy years ago, so she's like very clued up on cross pathogens and shit.
Yeah.
She's like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Like, don't even come in. She's like, I don't want some crusty random blood on me. And I'm like, but I wash my arm like out, you know, like fucking soak my arms down. I'm like, she's like, I don't care. Like, she's like, get in that shower. Like, don't come anywhere near me. And I'm like, fucking all right.
And it's weird. Like, I'm in the habit now. Like, even now, I'm not working. Automatically roll my sleeves up. As soon as I come in here, I'm like, sleeves go up. Because, it's horrible. Because I was saying earlier, I'm always cold. But even in the winter, I'm fucking freezing. Yet the sleeves, as soon as I get in, they've got to come up. You know?
What's the weirdest piercing you've done? Like, you've probably done everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the funniest one that I did was the gooch. Because it wasn't one that I'd done before, and that whole area is all pretty much the same thing. But I'd said to Logue a couple of days before, I'm like, babe, I've got gooch coming in, and I need to know the best position to have him in. Can you get on all fours? And he's like, absolutely fucking not. He says, you're going to put your finger up my bum. Don't come near me. And it got to the day of it, and I was like, babe, come on. I need to know what position, whether he's on his back with his legs open, whether he's on all fours. So you did eventually give in. And I didn't put my finger in his bum. I didn't do it. I resist. The urge was there. But yeah. Don't you worry about that, sunshine. And so then the guy comes in. I'm like, right, I want you on all fours. And and there I am, like eye to eye with him. And it's hilarious because you're just having like the most. It was an aroma. I always breathe through my mouth. Yeah, I always breathe through my mouth whenever I'm that region.
No fucking chance.
Yeah.
I mean, have you done tattoos in that region?
Like, I've done.
I won't do them.
Really?
Male or female, I won't do them. I had one guy I was at Uni King, say, in the Shambles in New York, heaving, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they're really cool. Their studio is like 300-400 years old. It's like the floor's literally.
I mean, anything in the Shambles is amazing.
You know where the Harry Potter shop is?
Yeah.
Literally, that same row upstairs. Incredible studio.
Wow.
And you kind of walk up, and it got a tattooist working in. When I was there, the tattooist was working in the same area as the reception. And this bloke says, "Can you fix my tattoo?" I'm like, "Oh, well, let's have a look at it then." Mitch starts unbuttoning his shoulder. I'm like, "No." The other guy's laughing like, "Fuck, I'll do it." It's like, I'm not fucking tattooed. But it's not that. I won't even tattoo women in that area. I just.
We've all got our own levels of comfort. Yeah. I stuff like that does not fuss me. If anything, I find it hilarious. I do. And
why did he want the gooch?
I don't know, because then we're joking about it because he's a naturist, so he spends a lot of time naked. And I was like, yeah, but you're gonna have to be picking stuff up all the time because that's the only way anybody's gonna see it. You're gonna have to pick up with your legs open so your balls dangle down, else nobody's gonna see it. I don't know. But yeah, that's
maybe
probably
it's like a 9-volt battery. Maybe likes a bit of the old.
Maybe. Don't know. But I think genital piercings are one of my favourite ones to do. Yeah.
Why? Like why? Not so much why are they your favourite. I just don't understand why you want to do it.
I don't know.
You know.
I mean, for obviously some of the ones that I do for women, it's because it's a stimulant.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's really fun as well to talk about. Like, so I'll ask them what size balls they want on the jewelry, and I'm like, how big do you want your balls?
Are you
And
wanting to put them in?
yeah, because no, I'm asking them. I'm like, how much sensitivity do you want? Do you want to be? Do you want like electric shocks as you're walking, or do you want like just a little bit of a?
Electric shocks.
Well, bigger the ball, the more it's hitting on the clitoris, is
Right,
it?
okay.
And so
Right.
that's the whole point of like when you're doing hood piercings, is that you're stimulating clitoris, even like riding a bus.
Right,
Wearing a tight pair of jeans,
right,
you're
I'm
getting.
asking.
I
Right,
know she's like messaging me now.
Fucking hell. Right,
Yeah.
I'll bring you down here.
But just having conversations like that, it's the most natural thing in the world. There's no like nervousness, there's no awkwardness about it. You're talking about like, so I'm saying things like when a woman's got their hood done or their Christina, which is the top of the pubic mound. And I'm telling them which sexual positions to avoid. And I'm like, right, go on all fours. So that there's no sort of,
Right.
and it's just, I love the freedom of that.
Right on.
I don't know. I find it really liberating that is my job every day, is to talk about stuff like that.
Like, I don't know, I suppose like somewhat like tattooing as well. It's like, at the end of the day, like that might change that person's life. Like they might be going for a bit of a shit relationship or whatever, you know, and then that might all of a sudden like build confidence. And, you know, because effectively like people say, oh, it's only more piercings or tattoos, but like, no, it's like,
oh, hell no.
You're in that, like, you're literally in their area and you're in, you know, that, like we hear stories that like no other person would ever hear.
No.
You know, and I don't interact I don't tattoo as nowhere near as much as like what you guys are doing here. But even when I'm doing it, it's like it's a privilege to be. You're in someone's area.
Absolutely, it's
you know,
such.
You're in there, literally breathing. Like, you can hear them breathing sometimes.
Yeah.
You're doing that neck piercing, even just ears. It's
yeah.
Like,
you create. We've talked about this, haven't we? And it's like you build that instant bond with that person because there's such a level of trust and vulnerability, and like we've all had it where people come in and like for you do a lot of memorial tattoos that are really sort of sentimental and you get a lot of emotion with stuff like that. I deal with like a lot of post breakup piercing and stuff like that where they've maybe been through a relationship where a partner, they've got to take them all out. Right. Or you're not allowed to do that, you know, and then they come in and they're free, and the tears that you have, it's like little counseling sessions. And when you see that person leave and they are just that little bit happier, they've got a bit more sass about them, they've just got that little bit more confidence as they leave. Fuck, that's.
I don't know if you guys think the same, but you can fully understand how people self-harm.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, I mean, when I was getting tattooed, like, and I've said this in the podcast before, like, literally, I get lost in negativity. I struggle to keep out negativity, like a lot of people do, and it's like I get stuck in getting my arm tattooed, especially at the end when the white, like the guy now putting white in. It's like you've said nothing to the guy about the shit that's in your head, but you feel that you have. Like obviously you're talking cars, tattoos, bikes, whatever, music. But there might be stuff that you want to talk. You almost feel like you've actually let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because the pain that you're feeling is connected to the same pain that you feel like you relate to.
Exactly. You're getting that endorphin release, and it's healing and it's cathartic, and the fact that we're in a position where we can help somebody with that. You know, I have people that have struggled with self-harm in the past and have sort of managed to stop themselves. I don't think you ever lose that want to do that, but then they'll come and they'll do it. We call it like constructive self-harm. Yeah. Because they're still getting that endorphin release, they're still getting that pain release, but it's done in a more positive way, a more safe way.
Yeah, I think obviously kind of like for you for tattooing, like I had a customer come in and it was way beyond what I could do for them, like in the style of work they wanted. But this girl had come in, she just turned 18 with her mum, and you could see she was very like in herself, like wasn't really talking, didn't want to look up or anything, but that's all her arm. Like she'd done a lot of There was a lot of scars. But it was incredible that one of the artists at Unique Ink was able to help them past that in their life. She wanted a full sleeve. It's like, how cool is that? Like,
Yeah.
you know, they unfortunately felt that that's what they needed to do with their life. But as a tattooist, you're able to help them because you can move past it mentally. Like, you've gone through a negative time, you've finished self-harming, but every time you look at that arm, it's there.
It reminds you of.
I mean, have you had clients where you've been able to help them move on in the next chapter?
Well, there's been quite a few, and I think that's because, like, mentally current in the current climate that we're in with mental health, especially for like the younger generation, it's quite a common thing at the minute, you know.
I know that you've had people come in and they're really anxious about showing what they've got. There's a couple that I remember that you've done, and seeing the joy in their face when you've sort of you did some floral work on one of them, and they were quite deep scars. I think you sort of like incorporated some into sort of like almost like a 3D effect. And just seeing the look on her face when it was done, it was, it's absolutely beautiful. And it's quite emotional to see, you know, that period of their life. That it's always there and they know that's there, but that doesn't mean that they have to wear that and people know the journey that they've been on. If they choose to tell people about the journey they've been on, then that's fine. But having to wear these marks, you know, that's not something that you want to expose to everybody, is it?
No, that's it. And it's, you know, it's like, that's what's so cool. And that's like somewhat with the podcast as well. Like, because obviously, like, you guys are doing stuff every day and it almost becomes second nature to, unfortunately, people come in with that type of stuff. You know, so sometimes, like, being able to just sit down and talk about it on the podcast, it's like you be able to, like, step back and go, oh shit, this is actually what I am actually doing for people. You know, it's like, it is, because it is, it's, you're able to help people. Like,
absolutely.
You know, mental health is obviously a big thing as well. And it's like, obviously, you know, pain or whatever, like, you're getting tattooed and it's able to like walk out feeling like you just let a load of shit go. I think it's such an incredible industry to be a part of. I think more people need to appreciate that, like, that are in the culture, because then you might find that you're less gatekeeping, less chatting shit on other people. And actually going, do you know what? I'm actually helping people. Or, like, even if they just want to look cool. Like, you know, for me, my tattoos tell a story. Like, my first tattoo that I did myself is terrible, but when I get to a position that I can afford to get all my leg done, I'm just going to get a picture frame tattooed around. You know, he's not going to go anywhere near the tattoo itself. And I'll just get a picture frame. Because I think that you can look at what I love about tattoos, for me, on my personal ones, is I know exactly what I was experiencing in life at that time. Like, every single tattoo, I know exactly what I was doing, where I was, how I felt in life. And it's like, good or bad, like, they mean something, you know, like, you know, I like skulls, pistons, you know, like, for me, it's like, say, like, the question with Indian Larry, like, 2 meanings to it is a nod to one of the great spy builders in history, in my opinion. But the other meaning is you never know when your time's up. You know, it's like, you know, 13, most superstitious number. Like, my missus' nickname inside my ref gauge, red lines 13. You know, be lucky, my uncle nearly died. Well, he died 3 times on the theatre table in a bike accident. One of the things, he's still alive, still walking. One of the things he always said to me, be lucky. You know, it's like, I mean, any random tattoo is still cool, but I think if you're able to have something that you somewhat feel that you're connected with, even better. You know, I mean, I've got some pieces to do that I want to get done, and I don't know how to go about doing them, or how about getting them done, because there's a lot of emotion connected to it. And it's like, you know, it's weird. You know what I mean? It's like I've tattooed my missus. So this is stuff I can't say because my kids tune in some of it. But I've done some tattoos on my missus that, like,
were really meaningful.
No.
Yeah.
It hurt doing them. But you know, but again, like being in a position that I was able to physically do that, you know, it was great because it was me that was able to do it. Do you know what I mean? But you know, what's so cool about the whole culture that we're all a part of, in one way or another, is that you're able to connect with people, you know, which I think is really cool. And it's like, how did you guys meet?
Oh god.
You know,
No.
You know,
we are the Plenty of Fish love story.
really? That is cool.
I know.
That's
So,
quality as hell.
For Valentine's this year, I bought him a card saying, of all the things I found on the internet, you're my favourite.
Which is like relevant.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we actually met online dating.
That's sick.
And you don't really meet that many people that it was successful for.
Right.
Do you?
No.
And
That's cool.
Not this far along, I don't think.
no.
So I instantly would have thought coming in to get tattooed or
Yeah.
going to get a piercing. You
No.
know.
Yeah, no.
I can imagine most people probably that don't know you guys.
Yeah, no, he hit me up and pursued me,
Awesome.
didn't you?
Well, I tried for a while.
Tried for a while.
Did you
Yeah.
make him work for it? My
Yeah.
15 years later, my missus still making me work for it.
Absolutely.
Still pays hard to get.
Well, they're saying that on our first date, I leant in for the kiss. He gave me the cheek.
Okay.
Rude,
Right.
didn't you?
But then you're
Play the
trying
game.
to, yeah.
Play the game.
So you were making her work for it.
Exactly
Right.
that,
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so that was 9 years ago, wasn't it? And we were both knobheads when we got together, weren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, we were awful.
Yeah, you
Like,
could see why we were
What, to
both
each
sick.
other or-
yeah.
Yeah, my missus is like that.
Yeah, no, when we were toxic as
We
fuck,
was
weren't we?
toxic, yeah.
And like now, if you like me as now, we're always bitching at each other, but we're sort of playful.
Yeah.
We don't fall out, we don't argue.
No, we
It's
very
very
rarely argue.
Yeah.
Bicker.
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah.
time, yeah. But Christ, when we first got together, it was all like in the first studio that Logue set up. I wasn't even working in it then. We'd be like nose to nose, chest out.
Love it.
Because I am a fiery bitch, and so are you. You are also a fiery bitch, and we just pushed each other's buttons, and neither of us would back down. We're both very stubborn, and yeah, we had to work through that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Whereas now,
Yeah.
we just I know it sounds shit to say, but he's absolutely my best friend, and he's like the person that I enjoy hanging out with the most.
No, well,
Except-
actually, it's like, I mean, I listen to all types of music, but like one of the best quotes that Eminem ever came out with, and it's like, and I tell it to people, and they're like, yeah, but it ain't spelled like this. But the point he made, right, is like, if you spell love backwards, what does it sound like it's saying? Evil.
Evil, yeah.
Right? So he plays a quote on one of his songs, and he says, "Spell love backwards, I tell you, EVO." So the point being is like, it can equally be hard. Like,
Oh god, yeah.
really hard, and people think like it's fairy tale of love, and you find that soulmate. Like, no, let's get it. Like,
Yeah.
and but my grandparents have been married 70 years. Yeah, but they're just not telling you that. It's hard
Exactly,
work.
yeah.
It's fucking hard work. You know?
Yeah. Nobody
You start
nobody
working
talks
it.
about the shit side of it.
No. It's
No.
like, you know, like my kids are going, why are you always arguing? We're not arguing, we're bickering.
Yeah.
Like arguments are like you said, chest out, throwing shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a bickering, like that's healthy. Like you need to.
Yeah.
You need to get that off your chest. You know?
And we do bicker because we are still the same people we were when we got together.
Yeah.
Still both very stubborn, but we both always think we're right.
We're
Right.
working together as well. Like,
Well, exactly,
that
yeah.
can be-
Yeah. So working together, living we're never apart, are we?
No.
We're never fucking
Like,
apart.
it can sound like fuck.
Oh,
like,
God.
shit.
But like when we get home,
Yeah.
he goes and sits in front of his PC.
Yep.
I sit on the sofa. We don't
Yeah,
talk
that's
for
your
a few
space.
hours. Do it. We don't talk.
No.
We just have that bit of time to decompress.
Yeah.
Because when you're not working together and living together, you could come home and I'm like, all right, babe, how's your day been? I know how his day's been because I've seen him.
Yeah.
I've seen exactly who he's done and who's been in and who he's talked to, and likewise. So there's no surprises.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're just like, oh, I can't be asked to talk to you tonight.
my missus can be a bit like that. I mean, I'm a needy fucker. Like, I am really, and it does her head in sometimes. I'm like, you don't love me anymore, do you? She's like, fuck off. I'm like, you fucking don't, do you? Because like,
that's you, that is.
I am. Because like for me, like I met my missus when I was 18. I just turned 18. And so we've been together 15 years this year.
Nice.
And like, she hasn't aged. And she always says, oh, I am, I look different. And like, even I say to her, even your friends tell you that you literally, like apart from a couple of grey hairs, which is coming up 40, which, you know, I ain't even got hair to tone, but like massive, I've put on a shit ton of weight. I'm now bald, and like, I look massively different, you know, and she hates my beard half the time. But it's like, I say to her, it's the only thing I can fucking grow.
Let me have this.
Off, you know, but like, she hasn't changed. And it's like, she's like, you've been stupid. I'm like, no, you don't fucking love me. You know, like, I feel like sorry for shit. I'm like,
we all do that. Like, sometimes I'm just like, do you still like me? He's like, I'm fucking married to you, aren't I?
Yeah,
like,
still here.
And I'm like, yeah, but do you like me? Like, as a person, do you still like who I am? And he's like, yeah.
You're all right.
I'm all right. You're all right. You're
It's
all right.
it's cool, isn't it? Like, say, like, you know, I mean, there isn't many couples that are able to say that they live and work together. You know,
Yeah.
like, you do hear the it's like,
it does help with me working upstairs and you working downstairs.
Yeah.
Also, you do kind of like get your own.
Oh yeah, we can go some days without seeing each other.
A bit like flat out,
Yeah, if it's a busy day, like if I'm quiet, I'll go up and bother him, and if he's quiet, he'll come and annoy me as well. One of my favourite things to do to bother him is if I have been doing a male genital piercing. Obviously, I wear gloves whilst I'm doing it, but I will still go up afterwards and wipe my hand down his face and tell him that I've just been touching a dick.
You know. Oh, love it.
And sure, it is my favourite. I get excited. I'm like, I'm gonna get upstairs in a minute.
Mental cruelty. That's what that is.
I mean, I'd literally be like, was it bigger than mine? I'd be like, if it was, fuck right. You know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I torment the shit out of him though. I do, don't know. Yeah.
Did you get your own back?
Not really, no.
No, don't know.
Like, considering that what jobs we do,
I
don't like blood and all that kind of crap.
I'm the same. Fucking hate needles.
Yeah,
same. Fucking hate needles.
So this one, right? Well, tell your story.
Okay, so one of my favourite piercings as well is dermal piercing, because you have to take like a section of the skin out. So it's like a cylindrical scalpel. You almost like corkscrew it in, and it just pulls out this little section of skin.
The bit out.
No. So that's a conch punch. It's like, you know, if you see them like here on the dick and stuff like that.
Yeah. You put the plate in underneath.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get that little bit of skin on my finger.
Oh, no.
And I'll go and show it to him. And he's heaving. He's proper fucking heaving. And I'm just like, just waggling it at him. I know.
See, so when I was like 16, 17, I had something wrong with blood, right? So I had to have a shit ton of blood tests. I got rid of 7 pints of blood in 9 months.
Shit.
Yeah, I looked like I was walking around for about 18 months, looking like smacking basically, with all like
marks
on my arms, right? And then kind of moved away from that, didn't have to have all that stuff, and had a blood test done a couple of years ago, and I nearly blacked out. And then like, but my missus is into all this fucking like. I swear my missus could kill me, and no one would even know my body even.
She's got it planned out.
Some of these things she watches, but she'll watch like where they're cutting bodies open, like the autopsy things. Like, so she's not into like disturbing shit, or at least she doesn't see. At least it doesn't seem.
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
watching that on the quiet.
Yeah, maybe so. But like, I can't watch any of it. I'm like that. I feel like my knees are going. I'm like, and I'm like, I had to recently have a blood test, and I need. They're looking, but the first they look at your tattoos.
Oh yeah. And then if you say you're nervous, they don't believe you.
No.
Are you the same?
Yeah.
Oh, he is such a needle phobe. Honestly, the amount of times I've tried to pierce him, and even just getting him sat in my seat, he's already like ready to go.
Really?
Yeah, you are terrible, aren't you?
Yeah, I just don't do needles.
So we had we'd been together about 6-7 months. And gone to the studio in Spain. It was like only another thing. Like fucking when I come back here, and I ended up in a studio, and the price list was up for piercings. I said, how many did you get for that? And the guy was looking at me, like, what are you on about? It's like 30 quid for one. I was like, so is it like, do you get like 3 for that? I wasn't being told, like, because in Spain, you see, my local tattoo is 10 euros a piercing.
Yeah, so much cheaper.
And he was like, no, seriously, mate, that's for one. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So we actually that be done.
Yeah.
Didn't flinch. And I sit down and I get the bar through the back of my neck. And obviously, we're early days relationship. I'm trying to act.
You're styling it out, yeah.
Fucking wrecked. Fucking wrecked. Like, because you feel it go through the first bit.
Yeah.
You think it's over.
Yeah.
No, it's coming out the other end. And then you gather the sweat's not there. You still look hard as fuck. And the next thing she's fucking like, putting this threaded socket on. And I'm like, okay, that does. Whoop, straight back through, and you feel the threaded socket go through, and you're like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
And Mrs. is looking at you, I'm like, yeah. Like, what? You're wrecked. And then I had to take mine out because I kept catching it on clothes.
Yeah, they look awesome, but they're a terrible idea. Yeah, if you ever want to wear anything with a collar, or if you want to wear a scarf, never in any point in your life.
Clothes tags.
Yeah, you will do.
Like one morning, it was like half asleep, work shirt on, and didn't fathom as to why my because I'm half asleep, right? And I'm like,
yeah,
all of a sudden I go like that, and my hat, blood.
Yeah.
And I've literally like pretty much pulled the fucking thing out. So the piercer at where I was getting my arm done, he said, look, if you don't take it out, it looked like I stabbed you. He said, it will just push it out.
It will.
Right? Kept catching it. And then I stretched my ear, went from a standard piercing size down to a 0 gauge, 10 mil in it.
Yep.
But I did it in like 3 weeks. So like bang, bang, bang. And
so it just looks like a cat's arsehole, yeah.
I pushed the back. So mine's, I luckily every night salt water, but I actually pulled the back out.
Yeah.
And luckily it went back in. But it was like,
nasty.
Have you seen that video where someone literally, it's like real time as well, and they do the piercing and then they go straight up to it? Have you seen it? And he literally just keeps banging.
I know,
bang,
and like
bang,
the pressure on their thumbs as they're trying to push it through.
I mean, how does the skin put up with that?
It doesn't. That is ripped to shit on the inside there. Absolutely. I stretched a chap septum on Saturday, and even from like a 2 to 3 mil, you have to put a lot of pressure on. So they must have I would never have challenged that person to a thumb war if they can push that bad boy through. But the pain, and that is,
it's as you let go of it and it tries firing back out. You're like, no, get back in.
Get in.
I mean, what are you at now on yours?
Oh, I've took mine out for ages. Because look, mine have like at the back, look.
Like cat, like
arsehole.
Type thing. Yeah. Was that because stretching too quick? Or?
Yeah, so I think I went up to about 27 mil.
You did go quite big on one, and then this one did blow out, didn't
this one blew out, so I can't do anything with this one now.
Right.
Every time I try to stretch it, it just gets angry. Yeah. So I just don't bother. I don't put anything in them now.
Just leave them.
Just leave them, yeah.
So what size is it they say you can kind of...
One between sort of an 8 and a 10 mil, and then you can get back to
0 gauge.
See, I can't do. I can't do the new money thing. Yeah.
Stretch kit. And then
yeah.
Bang,
yeah. So I think 10 mil is like. It's 10 mil 0 gauge. I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I can't do gauges. I'm too old.
I mean, I think I want to go again, but I keep thinking this hurts.
And do you not think the older you get, the more shit hurts as well?
Yeah.
I stretched my ears when I was in my 20s, and it was fine. And then I'm stretching these ones, and I'm like, "Fuck! How did I ever do this?" So I've got 12, 8, and 4.
Oh, wow,
I think.
Like 3, you only got 2 on that
And
side.
I've got 3 on that side as well. Yeah, but it just fucking hurts.
Yeah, like my sister-in-law, she's got into piercings and she's got like loads in her ears and all these weird places. Like, how the fuck do you even get piercing? Like, she's got like this like micro thing in her ear. Like, no, I'm like, fuck you. How do you even like? You know, I've never asked if she got them anywhere else, but I'm like, you know, it's my sister.
Ask her if she likes horse riding, then you'll know if she's got out downstairs.
She actually is into horse riding as well. Yeah. You know,
If she ain't got one, she needs one.
I know why you would like fucking horse riding.
Absolutely. Why do you think they've got those moulded saddles?
No hands. Oh, fuck no. Shit. I mean, I thought about getting my nose done, and it's like, you know, I'm like, do I actually want to do it?
Why would we do it?
She's got a nose, and then she was on about getting the middle done. And then she had a bottom lip done.
Yeah.
Took it out because obviously, like, it's a pet egg on dentists in it because it like damages the enamel and that.
Can do, yeah.
She took that one out, but also now nose, and obviously normal, you know. Yeah. Like fucking hell. Okay.
Shall I pierce your nose after this?
No. It'll fucking hurt.
Of course it will. It feels like a punch in the face.
Get it live, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
No, no, I don't claim to be hard. It's funny. I can't find my way out of a wet paper bag. People start me, Charlotte. They wouldn't. Even like tattooing. Like, what's the most painful tattoo?
Probably my toes. I've got fuck yeah on my toes.
What about you?
Palm of my hand.
Oh yeah, palm of the hand, yeah.
For me so far, nothing. That was like this. Like up until that was the most wrist wrecked.
Oh, wrist's vile.
Like, I'm literally apologising whilst my hand's bouncing across the fucking. I'm like, mate, I'm really sorry. He's like, don't worry. He's got all my like having to hold my hand down. It's like he just done all my son's name. It took about an hour or so or whatever, and then like put the date of birth in. And
but it's a gross feeling as well, though, isn't it? Oh,
every 10 minutes.
Oh, it's disgusting.
You know, I had one guy. He'd had a tattoo done, and it come up literally just shy of the top of the hand, right? And it was bad, and he wanted to cover it. I'm like, I'll do it. So I'm like saying now, I'm sorry. He's like, what? And I'm like, I'm about to fucking handle the fuck out of an old tattoo. That's an abomination, scarred up to fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, mate. Like,
sorry in advance.
So, what are your thoughts on blackout sleeves?
Chance tattoos.
But you've seen people that are going in with fresh skin and haven't done.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Who knows? Who knows?
Have you done any?
I've not total fresh ones, no.
Right.
But I have done like full sleeve cover ups.
Okay. So like something you've covered an old like.
Yeah.
We started a bit on mine, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like that's cool, like, because obviously, like, you can emerge that in, like, you can do some like cool patterns off the back of that,
and that's the plan, isn't it?
And you know, a splash effect type of stuff is cool to help, like, make it work into something else for people, but deliberately wanting to black out a perfectly.
Yeah, like virgin skin, just blacking it all out.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, it's become a thing now, putting white tattoos on top.
And
I've not done them. I wouldn't like to say they work. I mean, do they?
In a sense, they do, yeah. But I always say it's going to be a constant touch.
Yeah.
Especially if you're someone that's always in the sun.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to fade really fast. But I've been following this guy on TikTok. I can't remember his name, but he is absolutely covered. So he did a full body blackout.
I think I know you're about.
Yeah.
He's got the mouth, opening mouth.
That's it, yeah. And now he's got like red over his over the black.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But wouldn't it be interesting to see it in real life?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were going to try with Mars, isn't it? We were going to try like different opaques over it and just see sort of how they work. Just give it a little test run rather than just going for the white.
Mandala?
Yeah.
I think that's
that's got like old stuff underneath it as well. Yeah. So what you see, that little hand there, bless her, she's got 7 fingers.
Right.
And me and Logan first got together. She was like a pin-up, and he was like, "Can tell she's from Sleaford, 7 fingers."
Right.
But I kind of almost want to keep the 7 fingers because I just think it's funny.
It tells a story.
It does, yeah.
It tells. I mean, I've not had any cover-ups, but I suppose names, like,
Yeah.
I've got a Maltese cross on my chest, kind of based on like West Coast shoppers.
Yeah.
I've got True Love Show.
Oh no.
Right. Okay. Worst case scenario. Not that I'm saying like I say we're good together. Like, well, I'm thinking I know I can plan that out.
Yeah.
And I've got to say I've got a nickname on my arm there, and then I'd started a skull inside my leg, and I've got a cat like this, and it's got a nickname inside the cat.
Oh.
She's got my name that big above her ankle. I was like, you couldn't get any. You pretty much no closer to shit than possible, isn't it? Right? And she says like, well, why don't? Well, if you feel that way, tattoo your name. I can tattoo my name on her somewhere else. Well, like, it's really interesting to know your thoughts on it. Like, I couldn't do it. I said to her, I won't do it because it's almost like putting your name in a pencil case.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
like, have you tattooed your name?
No, he won't.
Would you?
No.
It feels it's like, you know, like property of like when you when you're at school and you write your name in your bag. I just couldn't do it. I think it's disrespectful.
I think it's jinxing on a relationship as well. Like,
Right. Oh, so you haven't got names at all. Right. Yeah. See, I've obviously 3 times over.
Yeah.
Lottie, Charlotte, Lottie.
Yeah.
But we've been together 15 years, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like whether on that freak rare occasion of it, but I just couldn't tattoo my name on her. I just feel it's disrespectful.
Yeah. It's like it's almost like you're branding her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said to her, I said, if you really wanted it bigger, you would have had it done bigger.
Yeah.
So that's you know, it's
It's
like,
it's true.
I can kind of influence a positioning of a tattoo or like say, oh, well, that style looks better.
Yeah.
But no, telling you you're gonna have that, no, it's like wrong.
Yeah.
You hear of it happening though.
Oh God.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, have you had it in here, like where the husband and wife or the partners have come in and he stood there like looking like, yeah, that's my name.
Yeah.
You see it, don't you? I played a girl where she had her bloke's name and you could kind of got the feeling of it, like,
Yeah. Like
is
I've
this right or it feels wrong, like.
I lasered somebody recently who just managed to get out of an abusive relationship, and she had his name on her, and he basically forced her to do that. And so I just lasered it for free because I'm like, you've done the hard work getting out of that, girlie. You know, that again, it's just gross. It's just ugh. And who's doing that? Who's doing that work, knowing that man's going, yeah, you will do this, and she's got no say in it.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I did one tattooed up his bloke's name on his girlfriend, and I mean, it didn't seem, but it just kind of the thought crossed through my head, like he sat there, like Charlotte had my name as a surprise. I didn't know she was doing it. You know, otherwise I would have said like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Like, not that. Like we'd already been together like 8 years or something like this time, but. Like the idea of me stood there watching some other tattooist tattoo my name on her, like even like something
it's weird, isn't it? Yeah,
you'll go and get it done. Like,
you
know, at whatever size you wanted.
Exactly that, yeah.
Because like my first reaction when she showed me, I was like, that big, like that. I was like, I'd fucking name it literally on my fucking heart.
Yeah,
like True Love Charlotte, like full on chest bit, like. You know, and I've got literally single, like maybe a 5-round liner or Josh in like fine line. I'm like, with a little heart on the end. And she's like, oh, you don't like it? I'm like, no, I like it, but like, is that it?
Where's my statement?
Yeah, like, where's my fucking portrait? There's a turd underneath.
Yeah, that's what you should get. You should get a portrait of me. No. Well, that was a hard no, wasn't it?
That was like no hesitation.
No.
Have we got any? Have we got matching ones or anything?
Not really.
No, we haven't, have we?
No.
We ought to do that. We did talk about doing that, didn't we?
We did. But
what was we going to get?
I can't remember.
I can't. And was we both going to get? Can I pet that dog?
No.
Or was that me? I know. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Now.
Go on it.
Yeah.
So what have you got?
Love Life.
Love Life.
We do have matching because I've got Love Life on my hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I've got
totally forgot about.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. And I went home. She didn't know I got it done. And I walk in bedroom. goes, what the f- that? And I like, flat out. She was like, why? So, because when I'm on bike, I'm flat out. And she's like, you fucking dick. She said, what it should say. She turned around and said, what it should say is flat out for 10 seconds. I've gone from fucking hero to like, all right,
Yeah,
okay. You know, she's like, you fucking.
Brought you right down
Yeah, I
to
thought I
her.
was like,
Yeah.
fucking bastard, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so fucking cool. Flat out, you know. And then she's like, you dick. So, but she, yeah, so like, I ain't got any on the face. I want everywhere else but on my face. I think, don't know why. I think they look cool. I just don't feel me.
It's a personal thing. I always said that I'd never get any on my face. And then
illegal activities, like that's the first thing they catch me on.
Oh,
Do you know
God,
what I mean?
yeah.
Not that I do a lot of illegal
I know.
activities, but
don't worry, I've got a balaclava.
have you?
No,
Right, what
yeah,
am I doing
just
today?
yeah.
Right.
I cover that shit up. Don't worry. Yeah, I always said I'd never go on the face. And I don't know. I suppose working this industry, you kind of think, oh, this is just.
Yeah, but it's modest though. It's not like.
Yeah, it's not.
You haven't like, you know.
Yeah.
Cheeks and
Not
like,
full face. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still quite subtle. I think.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I don't even notice them when I look in the mirror. I don't see them.
I like. I mean, they all look cool. I've seen like leopard prints.
I
think that's cool.
It's brutal.
Was it?
Oh God. Yeah.
How far around does it go?
It just goes to that bit where I've shaved. Right. Yeah. It's like my little guideline for my shaved bits. Yeah. But yeah, that was horrible. But I don't enjoy getting tattooed. I never have. I don't ever will. I find it painful. I find it uncomfortable. It pisses me off.
Right, okay.
You'd say that you wouldn't tattoo me if you weren't married to me because I'm just a bitch.
You're a nightmare.
Oh,
But do you feel that you can be that way because you're bloke?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like,
yeah, when other people are tattooing me, I'm
like,
much.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no, I'm still like fucking and blinding about it. But when he's doing it, I'm like, why do you hate me? Why are you hurting me? I do, yeah, yeah. I do like fucking me over on it. But yeah, I hate the. Love them afterwards. I love how they look, but the people that say, "Oh yeah, I fall asleep. I find them so relaxing," that is not me.
No, it's my missus falls asleep. But not for very long. But like,
I wish I could be that person, but no, it's just my pain tolerance is full, and I hate every minute of it. Don't I?
What about you?
I don't enjoy it.
You don't enjoy it.
He's a
Or is
fanny.
it because you've had so many that you're past that whole like?
That's the problem. You get to a point where you've got that many.
Yeah.
The only place what's left are all the painful places.
All the horrible bits.
Right, so
yeah.
Okay. So you're inside the arm, like.
Yeah.
Right. So I just ran. Like I said, I literally just ran out of money. Like I'd be fucking covered. Like, I mean, she says to me, "Why don't you finish inside of me?" I'm like, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, do them to yourself.
Yeah.
Do you tattoo yourself?
I've got a few on my leg. I've got like a skull. I'd say that skull I did with my missus' name. It's unfinished.
Yeah.
Like, because it's got heading round to like the nippy area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Like, I got to hoof my gut out of the way, breathe in.
Yeah.
Like,
get in some kind of tantric position.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'll straight up rather just pay someone else to do it. Like,
Mm.
And it's like, I don't know about you, but like, I know that I can actually do better work than what I'm actually doing on myself. Do you feel the same?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Did you start on tops of legs as well, like the usual on yourself?
No, I did a little bit on my arms.
On your arms.
That's
brave.
And then I went to legs. But it's been so long since I've done any on myself.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in doing them.
Yeah.
He came around one day. It started one on his stomach.
Oh yeah, I did my own stomach.
And I was like, how?
Like, I'm literally like.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It was a couple of years ago.
It was a
maybe,
couple of
wasn't
years,
it?
yeah.
Stretch on it. How the fuck do you get, like,
I can't remember.
Fucking,
I think I stood up doing it, I think.
Arching backwards. Like,
Yeah, look in the mirror.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, there's some great stuff out there that's been done like on their own. Like Polish Dan in New York, like he did all his stomach where he's actually done like a self-portrait of his hand holding the machine across the side of his stomach.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, incredible. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of Polish Dan's work.
No.
Like, realism style stuff, you know, like hyper detailed, small little, you know what I mean? A lot of that type of stuff. And it's like, how the fuck did you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Mm.
How are you so talented?
Well,
Share it out.
well, not only just that, like, how the fuck do you even tattoo your
Mm.
stomach? Like, I mean, the first one I had was on my stomach, and I was skinny then, and a bit of it touched the hip bone,
Mm.
or at least it feels like it's touching the hip bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that bit hurt.
Yeah.
You know, but,
Like you get these 18-year-olds that are coming in now, and the first ones are going on the ribs, and I'm like, I've been getting tattooed for years. I've still not touched the fucking ribs.
really,
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not an idiot.
I did an upside down giraffe. Fucking mint tattoo, right? This guy. All it reminds me of is, you know, the Disney film Up, the house floating.
Yeah.
Because the giraffe's tied together with balloons, and he's got googly eyes, and it's like one of the most favourite tattoos I've done. Like,
Oh,
just
wow.
because it's so like weirdly cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you got some like that were just stuck with you, like random designs that someone's like wanted to get done, like, or have you probably been at it enough years now where you're just like, yeah, I've seen it all now.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit numb to it.
Yeah. No, it surprises me. Nothing surprises me anymore.
What's your most surprising one you've done? You know which one I'm talking about.
What? Not area, like actual design.
No, area.
Oh, area.
Oh, bumhole.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did it. Like, okay, pay me and I'll do it.
Well, yeah. She messaged me and she was like, "Oh, I got a question." She said, "Yeah, yeah, no problem at all." And she was like, "Oh, I want my bumhole tattooing." And I went, "Okay." I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just a bit of skin, you know.
It is just
So-
listening, yeah.
I didn't really think much of it,
Right.
you know. So
Did you think it was a wind up first?
a little bit,
Right.
but then considering the job she does,
And we know her, don't we?
yeah, we know her. But she's OnlyFans girl, so
Right.
she asked if she could get them all done, and then she asked also if she could
Film
film it.
Shit, so you're famous.
I don't know.
Your hands are famous.
My hands are
Your
famous.
hands are all
Yeah,
over the internet,
yeah.
mate.
Yeah, I think she earned like, I don't know, easily quadruple what she paid for it
Wow.
Yeah.
just off the video, I think.
Wow.
But
What did you do?
it was a heart-shaped spiderweb.
So we're talking nutthole creeping out onto the cheeks type of tattoo. We're talking literally.
So it goes from probably about half an inch around the bum hole, and then the bottom of the heart pretty much sits right on the vagina lip.
Right. Okay.
But yeah,
I mean, it can't stay in there. Surely the chafing, like, regardless of size, surely movement of.
I mean, infection risk is huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
so do you get sign a separate piece of paper stating like, I take no responsibility?
oh no, it was
Same
yeah,
health and hygiene.
same one. She
Right.
I made her aware of all the risks before, and what was part of the risks.
Mm.
I don't know. She might have starved herself for a few days before.
Right.
Just to avoid. So the thing is, right, I didn't find out until after I did the tattoo that she suffered with IBS,
Oh,
right? And at one point she was on all fours, so I was literally in firing range. If she had an episode,
wow.
yeah, I would have been.
Shit's getting serious.
Yeah,
Literally.
I would look like a piece of marble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And was this like recently or
a year and a half ago.
About a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah,
some fucked up shit?
I know.
yeah.
Like,
How funny is that though? Coming home from your day work. All right, babe. What you been doing today?
yeah, well, I tattooed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
The only thing that was a bit awkward about it was her husband
The
came
whole
with her.
thing.
Oh.
I mean, I think it was cool as fuck. Like,
A husband came with her. But the problem is, because of the area, I couldn't hold a bum part, stretch the skin.
Your
and tattoo.
face, by the way, is beautiful.
I can see
So-
straight away. All right, mate, just grab a cheek, put some gloves first.
So he was sat at the side, bum cheek stretched, me with a mining flashlight on the head.
Like, the weird porn scene out, like in a Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I've never seen another bloke look at me in such a way.
like, especially if there's eye-to-eye connection, that's just
Mm.
Yeah,
like there's a moment.
Yeah.
That's a moment. Like,
Yeah,
Three-way eye-to-eye
I don't think
connection.
he blinked the whole session. Like, yeah.
But I mean, obviously, like straight up, like husband and wife, and like he's happy. I mean, that's respect to him. Like, I don't know if I'd be happy that my missus put all the stuff all over the internet like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's on its own is a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like, fuck it, no. And then obviously he's having to hold the cheeks apart. Like, surely it must have been just for the content. It must, because it's never.
It looked super cute.
It
To
was
be
really-
fair,
yeah,
it
it
did
was
look
really nice.
really cute. I was tempted.
Really.
Serious,
Okay.
yeah. Did look really nice.
It's not going to look like that now. It's
Oh,
not,
no.
like, that's not chatting shit on your work. Like, there's no way. There's
No.
no way. I mean, like, obviously, I'm guessing you were a bit more strategic when you put detail, like, in places that aren't going to be because it's got to be rubbing, isn't it?
Of course it
has
has,
to be.
yeah.
There's no way them lines look the same now.
We can find it after this session. We can see if it is.
What is it? No.
I
No.
mean,
so what? So there's footage out there, so you can literally. Oh yeah,
we can find it out.
that's
And
healed up. Look,
Yeah.
look at that. Oh look, fucking hell! Look, it's disappearing. Look.
To be fair, she wouldn't mind if I messaged her and was like, give us a pic.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Send
ace, yeah.
Send us a $5 to my PayPal account first.
Yeah. Yeah. She's well
Wow.
down, yeah. She's awesome, wouldn't she?
That's fucking mad. I mean, each their own, isn't it?
Oh,
I just-
certainly, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, like, I don't even. I mean, I'll get like all my legs done and back decent. But I'm not particularly bothered about getting the arse tapped. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I
Mm.
don't know. Maybe I'm a bit. I mean, I want to be covered, like, you know, legs and
Yeah.
back and head and neck and you know, jawline and that. But you're not going to see it. Like,
Yeah.
No.
So next, my next one is fullback
Yeah.
Japanese piece.
Okay.
But because it's full Japanese piece,
It goes on
bum
to-
cheek as
it
well.
goes on to your bum, yeah.
Yeah.
So have you got the back of your legs done?
No, so I'll be getting that done as
so
well.
are you going traditional, like short, like as a like boxer line?
Yeah.
And it taper in. I love the history of
Yeah.
Japanese work.
Mm.
I love like the whole like history of it, and like
Just
like,
so much meaning in it, isn't
it's
it?
incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like where the because obviously, so I mean, obviously you'll know this as well, but like it's crazy. But when you look into the history of why Japanese bodysuits finish the way they do, there's reasons behind all of it. So you know, like where it comes over the collarbone,
Mm.
tapers. I mean, do you know? That,
I don't know,
I
no.
mean, you'll know it. So like again, don't quote me how I believe it's true, but apparently the reasons as to why it comes over and comes collarbone here and tapers round
Yeah.
is when they're in a restaurant, for example, and they unbutton the top shirt. Now, like, everything's purposely where you can't see them.
Yeah.
So like traditionally a Japanese arm sleeve finishes about here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So again, if they're eating, they fold up the sleeves, you can't see them.
Mm.
Everything, it's like strategically. I mean, obviously you probably know more about history, but I think that's the truth behind it. You know.
Yeah, I think it's to do with the background of the accuser,
Yeah.
isn't it? Even to like this day, culture-wise, it's very frowned down upon, and it's all associated with gangsters of
Yeah.
Japan, and I think that's how that was designed that way.
Yeah, and apparently the Yakuza, like the head and there's a tattoo artist will dictate as to what you're getting.
Yeah.
You don't have choice.
Oh.
Apparently, I'm sure it is. Apparently, they'll go, no, you're a dragon, and the guy might want a tiger.
Mm.
He's like, no, you're a dragon. Like there's something that tells them, or this feeling that they get.
Yeah.
But I think it's incredible. That's what the history of tattooing is phenomenal.
It is. It's amazing.
And it goes, they got evidence of what, a 2,000-year-old body where there's markings on the body, or
I don't know.
No, we was talking about this the other day actually. It was so they're like 2,000 or 5,000 years old mummified body is like the first tattooed person that here or something, you know.
Yeah, but how true? I don't know how true it is, but I got a book and I read in the book that the word tattoo is from a tribe based in Europe, and so apparently it was actually originally spelled TTU.
Yes, yeah,
and
I've
it
heard
was actually
that.
a tribe, and they would mark their skins thousands of years ago. But again, obviously, you know, there's always going to be different.
Of course there is, and you know we'll never know because
It's not about no more.
they're not about.
No, right, mate.
They didn't leave a PowerPoint presentation for us, did they?
No.
So, but yeah, I think it's been going on for thousands of years. Of course it has.
You know, it's laser shit, like where people outside and putting her arm under a laser and getting a pattern burning. That must wreck.
Oh, I lasered my little brother today.
Did you?
Yeah, he's got some work that he wants, and we were just chatting about it. And yeah, he's got some like just old words here, and they were shoddy as fuck anyway. And I went, let me laser you, because older sister, any excuse to hurt him,
Yeah.
even as adults, I'm still going to take that. And yeah, he did not enjoy it. And I've got a much bigger piece to laser on him. I'm like,
Right.
I'll let you numb it up if you want.
Right. Yeah.
Because
right.
I ain't got anything against people numbing for tattoos. If they can't handle the pain, they can't handle the pain. And I know some people feel like you've got to earn your stripes,
Yeah,
but
I'm a feeler. But again, I haven't got any of these places done yet. Really.
But with laser, laser's shit, because you've not sort of like working towards the end piece where it's going to look awesome, and you're going through that process. Yeah, you're getting rid of something and then putting something over. What's the point in going through the pain of that? Because it just looks shit anyway. So yeah, but I had great fun today.
Did you?
Yeah,
Well,
I proper hurt him. Yeah.
Have you had any laser work?
A little bit.
You hated it as well, didn't you?
First and probably last, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
But you'd rather just block it out. Worst case scenario. That you
No,
need
I'm
to.
just gonna leave it.
Just leave it.
Just leave it,
Yeah.
I say it's done now. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's a lot. You hear of how true it is, but you hear of people like literally they're bored of their sleeve.
Yeah.
Get their fucking lasers and start. Like,
Fuck
you know,
that.
that's the side of it that I think is a shame. I think that it's a shame that you're not prepared to take whatever the design is that serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's there. Like, I love that whole aspect of it. Is there for life. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
That moment of seriousness to it. You know.
Yeah, not everything has to be fucking disposable. Just, they're your choices.
Yeah.
That was what you wanted at that point in your life. Unless it's something like, dodgy. Then they're the choices that you've made.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like let's say my last podcast with Long's Latvia, like the history of like Latvian prison, it was like, wrong place, wrong time, you're getting killed because of that tattoo.
Yeah.
I love the history of that. Obviously, I don't want to be involved in that shit.
Yeah.
But like, I think that there should be an element of seriousness to tattooing. Like, regardless of how funky or weird the design is, like I tattooed on one of my friends, literally with my knees machine. Like, fucking, I know he drew an animated police officer, a pig wearing a police uniform, and it's got "fuck the police." And I kept saying to him, like, put the stencil on. I'm like, you sure you want to? He's like, fucking do it. And he says to me, he says, when I wake up, I sit on the edge of the bed. He says, I look down. First thing I see is this upside down animated pig wearing a fucking police hat and the top of his tie, and it says "fuck the police." He says, I chuckle pretty much every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like, are you sure you want this shit doing? Like, it's like, fucking hell,
it's a statement.
Yeah. Have you seen the guy that's got an Hitler on his back holding a gas bill?
No.
Yeah, he's a bike builder. I can't remember where he's from, but there's a video of him riding this bike that he built, possibly the UK. I could be wrong, but he definitely speaks English. Hence how I know, like, he's talking about this tattoo. But you see him riding through this tunnel. The cameraman's like in front of him. He's riding behind the like following the camera van. So you don't see the. And then obviously, however they edited it, he pans past and he comes out the fucking tunnel, and also boff, and he's riding no shirt on a bike. Hitler's there on like this mountain thing, mate, holding a fucking ass list with names on it. You're like, wow, like shit, like you fucking got that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you meant that one.
Shit. I mean, I know someone that's got a Nazi sign on the back as well, and it's like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, have you done some shit like you're thinking like?
No, I refuse to do anything like that.
Right, so there is so you won't do anything that's like discriminate like
no,
heavy shit. Like,
no, not for me.
No.
I mean, if someone wants to get that, that's up to them.
Yeah.
But,
You'll cover it.
Yeah, I'll cover it up.
Yeah.
But I won't be associated with doing a tattoo like that.
No, that's like, it's very quick. Who the fuck did that? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
That's how quick it can be. Well, I lost family members in, like, whatever. It could be that quick. Like,
yeah.
It's
not, and that's the thing with anything like that, or like we get asked probably on a weekly basis if somebody will tattoo somebody underage and stuff, but that one person wanting that tattoo is not worth anybody's career.
No.
Absolutely not. You know, and like they'll like, oh, I'll slip you an extra 20 quid if you'll tattoo my 17-year-old or something like that. Your 20 quid isn't going to last me through the rest of where I've got lose my license, lose my career. Yeah, your 20 quid don't mean shit.
Because there's no way in hell that a 17-year-old's going to hide that tattoo, like with their parents.
Oh, they
First thing they're going to do is straight on fucking internet.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to know about it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's face it, we all know that when it's our friends that are learning and they've tattooed me because I think it's cool, you know that roughly the work's going to have shabby lines, whatever. Like, there's no way a tattoo's coming out of this studio like that. You know, so it's like clearly come out of the studio, isn't it? Who did that?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Next thing their friends are telling them.
Yeah, like, and it's the same. Do anything that's sort of associated with anything that's
so
nefarious.
They're changing law on piercings, isn't they? I don't know how true this is. I heard that then, because there's a minimum. Obviously, you get your ears done as a kid, but like, is there a law anything else but ears?
There isn't. No. Well, yeah. So obviously, anything that is considered like genitals and nipples and stuff like that, but it's all.
But is there a law on that?
So, as far I've always worked under the impression. Now, somebody did argue this with me the other day, but the genital and nipple piercings minimum age of 18.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Is it actually a law though?
Well, I've always argued that it is a law, but this other person was saying that it wasn't. So that's something that I need to look into. But like from my insurance company, for example, they stipulate what age I can and can't do things at.
Okay.
But with the whole industry being so regulated, you can pierce a baby whilst it's still got the fucking umbilical cord attached if you want to. There's no law to say that you can't do that.
Yeah, that's interesting because obviously I get like you have a daughter, get their ears pierced. Well, like, I suppose there is that element of like, well, I know it's your child, but like, really, it should be down to the person that owns their ears.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I would say like no to getting a baby's ears pierced. Like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want your ears piercing? Yes, I do. Okay. You know, but
yeah, it's so unregulated that that you're basically governed by what the insurance company and the insurance company will be different. Somebody can do it from this age, someone will say do it from that age, but there's no station to say by law you can't do this until they're a certain age.
But I think when I was talking to Nathan, you know, where I work part time, he was saying that apparently they're looking to like where you've even got to take a photo of the tattoo you've done and it gets logged with they're looking to introduce. I think they're trialing it in Wales first.
They are doing some, they're doing some weird shit in Wales. Yeah,
they're looking to like you have to have a photo logged with the file, and I think they'll make it more database and like it's online. Well,
that's
you know, I mean,
that's too far.
But then look at what they've done with blue and green.
The EU rules.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was talking to when I said to you earlier, like my friend Javi, who's sponsored by Radiant, you know, he was like, we're going to use it. Like, that's the fucking way it is. It's fucking stupid. He said what they're not telling you is this slight evidence they have of cancerous shit is never gets.
Exactly that,
You know, so they're not telling you that.
Yeah.
You know, but see over there, you see, you've got to have licensing. It's like that's one thing we're really lucky in England. Licensing in Spain, you need a license just for the ink.
Wow.
Like, there's different, like you need like to be able to like legally have that ink as well as a license for tattooing. It's like I think you've even got a bit of a test.
Really?
Yeah, like don't quote me exactly on the actual like true figures on things because I was talking to Javi because I was talking to him a lot about these EU issues, and he said, but it's always been harder for us with tattooing and laws, and he said. Because what country? Korea, where you require a fucking doctor license.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and in Japan, it's like Japan's still like legal, but not always legal.
I think there's pretty sort of the doctorate kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck's going to go and study medicine for 5 years or whatever it is in Japan? To go and tattoo.
Yeah. Mental.
It's fucking mental, isn't it? But yeah, I think I don't know what time it is. I'll let you guys. So obviously, I said to you off air, like we wasn't going to talk about the Lincoln Tattoo Convention because obviously we got you on Jake's podcast and the Custom Culture podcast. So I didn't want. I said to Jake, so I'm gonna go sit down with these guys and waffle on some shit. So, but I'm not gonna. He was like, no, go on it, like talk about it and all that stuff. But I think that we'll leave that side of stuff for the Custom Culture podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, for people that do listen to this before, if they are interested in getting a booth, because you still got.
Yeah, we've still got trades and tattoo booths still available.
The best way for them to get hold of you guys will be
email or Instagram. Really, Instagram's really good.
Right, Instagram, linking the actual Instagram,
Lincoln Tattoo Con
page, and just message you there.
Yeah.
Righto. And and then obviously that's happening
8th to the 10th of August.
Yeah, awesome. That's cool.
Are you coming?
Yeah, well, I was supposed to be there last year.
I know.
I messaged you and I was like,
are you coming this year?
Chat? Yeah, I will be. I won't be tattooing. I'll come and annoy people. I'm good at talking. I think I'm probably better at talking than I am tattooing.
Do it both at the same time.
No. I think obviously the idea was that I was gonna get tattooed by you, and we were gonna do this podcast. But like, fucking imagine now at this time, like, fucking hell, Josh,
just falling asleep whilst he's doing it.
Yeah. It's like an hour and 45 minute drive for me. But no, it's been cool, and I can't wait to see. So I'll come back when this is all finished.
Yes.
How much more you got?
How long's a piece of string?
Yeah, I think we're hoping maybe April now.
Right.
Yeah.
Weather as well will be better.
Exactly. People start as spring hits, everyone forgets about the New Year's resolutions and shit like that, don't
They're all
they?
in the beer garden, aren't they?
Yeah. So come. Yeah, I reckon by sort of end of April we should be. Maybe we ought to have like a special opening party where you come down and just like.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe fucking. I mean, obviously, what Jake said, but maybe do the episode with Jake down here.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Me and Matt, actually, Matt only lives like 10 minutes from me anyway, so we'll just carpool and cool to do that here.
Yeah, because you don't drink anyway, so so you're designated driver.
I think, but yeah, I don't drink, so it'd be interesting to mix it with drink on it. Yeah, I can just imagine I did a podcast with Low Life Podcast. They've got a really cool like chopper thing, mainly based around choppers, and he's like, so what it would have been 10:30 in the morning for him. So he's Manchester in America, which is I think up towards Canada. I think.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's like a 5 hour.
Mm.
He's there at 10:30 in the morning, just cracking up beers. I was just like, fuck it. He's like, yeah, it's like every time. He's like, I can't do a podcast. And he says like some of the podcasts I'm shit faced by it. He said if they go on for hours, I mean, I think he's like 2+ hour on average as well. And he's like, some of them are like fucked by the end.
I totally wanted a beer tonight, but I've got to drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I could have had a couple of beers, but then.
Yeah, it was like we were saying off air, like
I know, yeah.
went over to the Custom Culture, like you were stood in the rain. Like me and my son are stood under the gazebo. I think you'd gone inside to start setting up. And my son, he says to me, Dad, why should she stood in the rain? I was like, she's all right. Like you were literally just leaning against this railing.
Just assessing my life.
And you were just like, I'm going to go back to it. And you disappeared for like.
Oh fuck! I had to go back to the tent and sleep it off. It had fucking rained in the tent where I'd left it over.
Oh, no.
I didn't give a shit. I was just like, that was a rough one.
Yeah, you were like,
yeah.
It's just my son saying, Dad, it's just in the rain. I was just like,
the amount of people that came by, they're like, "Are you all right?" I dread to think.
So how much did you drink? Because didn't you start? You were drinking with Jake's Warren, weren't you? When you drink with,
I literally was drinking with anybody that would stand still enough. I know that I always take a bottle of Jack with me, and that had gone. And
A litre bottle.
it was the Friday and the Saturday, but
Right.
even still,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm like 2 beers and I'm fucked.
yeah.
Like anything with alcohol. After 2 beers, I couldn't drive. Like I'm not staggering, but I'm not in a position.
You know,
to,
it's there, yeah.
I mean, I remember indulging in some herbal
Mm-hmm.
and then drove.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
30 mile an hour.
Shit. I could feel my hands. I mean, I probably shouldn't really. Yeah. I was like, fuck. I was fucked.
We've all done stupid shit when we were younger. We're much older and more sensible now. Yeah, I know, right?
Years ago, I said to my missus, like, can you go and check the car? I don't think I ate anything. She said, I got the Venetian light, like the, you know what I mean, then. And she's like, they're walking by with a torch on her phone. And she said, all she sees is these beady eyes popping through the fucking I was like, full on paranoia mode, like, shit. How the fuck I got home? Fuck yeah, that was bad.
Mm.
Yeah, some weird name cocktail special grow.
Yeah,
It
some
weren't normal.
specialist blend. Yeah.
Anyway, less of that. And so we obviously I'm going to be seeing you guys soon anyway, aren't I?
Yes. Are you at backwards?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go. I don't think I'm going to be doing I'm not sure yet.
Mm.
It was a cool event. I don't know if it really kind of fit with what.
Yeah.
Bike. I mean, there is a little bike show there, wasn't there? I think it's more relaxed than that.
Oh yeah.
Like, really, I mean, it's incredible what he's done with the venue's incredible.
This is what amazes me. So both shows, same like such different vibes with both.
Yeah.
And they're both awesome, but they're so different.
Yeah, both got their own.
Yeah.
I mean, like that wooded area, like I've said it loads of times, and we spoke about it a lot. It's like it's a magical.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think like with the podcast that Jake's got for the show, like I still stand by. I believe it's the only one in the UK that's dedicated to a show.
Mm.
Like it's not like my podcast. I'm waffling on tattoos, bikes, all walks of life, people within the custom culture. But like Jake's is like, again, it's like everything's there. Like you already know what. I mean, obviously we spoke last time about the new marquee.
Mm.
That because again, you can listen to it all. So it's like So I think there's still so much to do with the KKBO podcast that we hadn't even touched on the tattooing. I mean, I don't know if you guys have listened to all 5 episodes.
I haven't listened to all 5 yet. No, I need to
we
catch up.
Haven't even, and there's still more.
Yeah.
There's still like other pinstripe artists and airbrush artists, and what I mean. There's like, and people want to come on, which is great.
Yeah.
It's like obviously I just harass people to come on, but like Jake's actually got people asking, like to come on, and obviously Gnarly Magazine now being a sponsor on.
Wow, I mean that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, Gnarly, they've got a big influence in America, and they're actually still physically printing a magazine, which is
it's a dying art, isn't it?
It is,
Is Skin Deep even going?
I don't think they do a magazine anymore.
That's what I
No,
mean.
it's all online.
It's all online, yeah.
It's such a shame. Like that's what's so cool. Like with your books and that you've got on the wall as a decorative piece. It's like it's a physical thing that you can, someone could probably stand and read half of that book if they wanted to. It's like it's there. It's a real book. It's not like a prop, is it? It's not blank pages to look like something.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's kind of like I was saying earlier. Like people are looking for real shit. They just don't know they're looking for it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like AI is all well and good, but Google are now looking for spelling habits because they've realised that. So if you say someone watched Terminator, tell me that's not happening, and then they'll look at you and say you're chatting shit, but it's happening.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it's fucking happening. We'll just probably spend out talking about conspiracy shit, but it's like it's there.
Yeah,
it's like a Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, well, look at his podcast.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
it's fucking awesome, isn't he? But I'm gonna carry on whacking. What you got to be whacking in tomorrow morning? 9:30ish.
I'll be here for 9.
Yeah. Josh, don't shut the fuck up.
We might just sleep on these sofas tonight. Be a lot easier.
Yeah. Anyway, I will hit the end button and thanks again for.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, mate.
Yeah. Have a nice time, yeah.
Yeah, just laugh.